And let's see if we are live. There's always a lag, Dan. You know what I mean? So whenever you go live, there's always like a couple second lag to make sure everything works.
Yeah, that with radio, right? There's like a 7 seconds, so they can like bleep out bad words and
No,
stuff.
I think that's lightning and thunder. I think that's if the seconds is how many miles it is away. So I'm not sure if it's really. Let's see if it's working. Man, I can't tell. I just say we kick this off. Is anyone online right now that can see us or anything like that? Just leave a comment, say hello, say good morning.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Okay, we are live. All right, John Dinkin says, love a good breakfast room. All right. So I actually wrote that a little bit a while ago. So everyone, good morning. We got Austin Bryant saying good morning. We got Austin saying, hey, Kevin Smith, we got a lot of good love right now. James Lee Payne, what's up? Jamie Snelson, I can see y'all. Okay, good deal. Well, first off, everyone, welcome to Connection Crew. We're going to say hello, give a couple shout outs to people out there tuning in on this Wednesday, August 18th at whatever time it is now, 8:32. Before we begin, I got to say, check out Connection Crew. It's this new company I started, kind of bridges the gap between what used to work, actually what used to not work in the oil and gas industry, what works today, whether it's content creation, make brand exposure, unique networking events, business development. Contact me, we can talk about that. What else, Dan? What else we got to plug?
I got one good plug right here.
So, okay, speaking of, so I see behind you says worst engineers, and I see Luke McDougall is the only name there. And what's interesting about Luke McDougall, he better be on. What's going on, Brett Stout? Lane Peeler, hello from Houston. Where's everyone else calling in from? Not Brett Stout. Luke McDougall's actually creeping on my profile earlier, Dan.
This morning?
Yeah, so either that tells me he knows that we're about to do a breakfast run with you and he's not watching, and or he's just kind of one of those stalker guys, has an account, really doesn't engage with people, just check people out.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't have you ever met him?
Luke McDougall? Oh man, who hasn't met Luke McDougall? He's got the best look out there.
Yeah. Great worst engineer though.
Dude, that guy's luck is literally the worst. Remember that time we went to Nordstrom's and went to lunch, got a chicken sandwich, and everyone's order was perfect but McDougall's, and his chicken sandwich came out without the chicken in it. Like, you might want to say something, man. And he's like, I can't say anything. I'm like, they forgot a pretty important part of your sandwich.
He always says order NB. It's just part of the deal.
That's actually how he lives his life. So Dan, what's going on with you, man? So pretty much, let's figure this out. So in the time that we've seen each other, all right, you got married, right?
Yep, got married.
So how was that, man? Where'd you get married at? I don't know because I didn't get the invite.
Just outside of Aspen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very fancy.
A little small family and friends, or did you open up because of the old Delta variant?
Yeah, there was only like 28, 30 people there.
Okay.
So, yeah, we figured if we were, so we thought we were going to save some money doing it small, and we wanted it small, but because it was in Aspen, we did not save any money.
Dude, that's, what's funny? When it comes to like weddings or babies, like, I kind of feel like, for example, like a puppy gate is like $20, but if you put like if it's a baby gate, it's like $80. You know what I mean? So whether it's like wedding or whether it's like babies, they always upcharge it.
We it's funny you say that because we are using a dog gate as our baby gate. So.
And Danny confirmed that Luke McDougall is the worst. JK, I don't know what that means. It does not mean just kidding though. So, but yeah, so I guess he is. So it was a good time though, man. So are y'all doing a honeymoon or what?
No, we held off just because, like, with the kids and stuff, it was going to be tough. And, like, we'd have to ask one of our parents to watch them. And they were already, both sets of parents were up there for the whole week.
Okay.
Be like, hey, you were up here for a week already, but watch our kids for another week. So we're gonna wait on that. But we are getting married again in the like we're both Catholic, so it doesn't count if you do it outside of the church. So we have to go do it in the church.
Okay, so you're gonna go have a Catholic wedding after 2 children, living. Okay, that makes that makes sense. I get that, man. You do you. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's a little redundant, but whatever. I mean, this thing is just going to be like real quick, but it's in a couple weeks. And then
have you ever been to a Catholic wedding? There's nothing quick about it.
No.
It's like mass times like 1.3. You know what I mean? It's like 30% extra mass.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of them. It's way slower, but whatever. We're doing Remy's birthday the same weekend, so she's turning 1, and we just figured we have everybody up, do her birthday, and do the wedding thing in the same weekend.
Knock it out a wedding and your daughter's first birthday. That makes sense. You're gonna have a petting zoo. That's exciting. And also, so wait, let's get this kicked off for those that are watching. Let's get into this, and then we'll kind of get into the personal side of things. Man, that beard is looking fresh, Dan, and we're going to chat about that. Okay, so people are out there right now. So breakfast runs. I'm not even sure if there's some people out there that even remember what breakfast runs were. So breakfast runs were usually the place that oil field service or salespeople get in the break room of an office of an operator. You pretty much hang out for about an hour and a half, hoping to see someone, having coffee, having those awkward conversations, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how they are. And since you can't do them anymore, so why not just get this kicked off and start getting operators, getting customers, behind next to me or behind the camera, and just kind of having a quick shoot the bull conversation.
Yeah, I kind of miss them.
Do you miss them?
Well, I don't know. I mean, a little bit, I guess. Some vendors are a little bit more awkward than others, especially I get it though. Like you're walking in there, especially if you don't know anybody and you're trying to like get some work, and it could be weird. But I mean, it's cool to catch up with like your frienders.
You call them frienders?
Well,
okay, that works.
And vendors.
That works. I'll call them frustomers, friends that are customers.
Okay. Same deal. But yeah, small company, like you got guys coming in just to like drop off stuff every now and then. But like at the bigger companies, you have that whole like break room and people coming in and out. And maybe it's a little more awkward at bigger companies because like you have like admin, land people, like, all these people coming in. And especially if the vendor doesn't know anybody in there. They think everyone is potentially like an engineer or whatever, so they're like, "Hey, nice to meet you."
That's pretty much like every next happy hour I used to go to. Like, you're talking to someone for like 3 hours. Next thing you know, like, "Oh yeah, I'm a land man." I'm like, that doesn't help. All right, I'm not meeting you anyway.
I'm in accounting.
Yeah. or it's one of those things when those big service companies, they bring in their entire team and it's like, "Hey, meet the 13 people," and the joke always follows. You remember? You get all our names. There's a test later.
You get a test later.
You get a test later. So, dude, man, talk to me. So you're kind of missing breakfast runs, not really. And I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, fair.
Okay, that's fair to say. Do you see them coming back?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, like, I just think there's like a lot of people are hesitant because there's so many different companies have different policies.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's different from company to company. Like, what are you going to do? So you can't really plan on it. And like, I get bunched up with a bunch of other companies in Dallas, and they're like, "Well, no one's doing anything." And I'm like, "Well, I think we shut down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In March 2020, and that was it."
Okay.
And so after we laid our rig down, I was like,
when did y'all lay y'all's rig down?
May of 20.
Okay.
So after that, not having a rig and everybody not coming around, I was pretty bored for a while.
That'd be a weird feeling from having a rig, people swinging by, and then suddenly nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we worked a lot of deals vetted a lot of deals, but so I stayed busy, but not like the kind of busy that I usually am. So it was a little bit.
Did you like that pause, that break, or not?
Coincidentally, it happened, when a lot of personal stuff was going on, like, the second kid, building a house, moving to an apartment. Well, that,
weren't you like renovating too last year? Like
Yeah.
your schedule's been just like, you like taking stress on.
Yeah. I mean, I like having projects at home, but it was nice to have a break like at work while that was going on. So I'm not taking calls at 2 a.m., not getting any sleep with the baby, all that kind of stuff. So it worked out. It was a good, like, the timing was right.
So let me ask you a question. What's going on besides getting married, again, besides having the first birthday party? What's going on professionally right now at Headington? What are you seeing?
Excuse me. So we've been working on a few deals. We've closed one deal. The start date is kind of uncertain, but in the meantime, I've been checking on things like casing and rigs and other services and checking pricing, things like that. And
hey, real quick, is that kind of I guess getting back to it where you're kind of like checking on vendors when it comes to like, I mean, you haven't done that in, I guess, over a year right now. So what's that process for you? Is it kind of like dusting off the old Rolodex and calling your contacts? What's that like for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've done it a couple times, so I kind of know the deal. Like you put the most important things first and start, like rigs and pipe, and especially right now, like things like casing are pretty complicated. The pricing is ridiculous. Availability is pretty scarce. So
is it tough for y'all to find, I guess, pipe and casing and all that stuff right now?
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's been getting worse since the beginning of the year. The mills just aren't at full capacity and won't ramp up to full capacity until pricing kind of comes down. They just don't want to buy a bunch of raw material at extremely high prices, and then the price starts to drop, and then they're stuck with that material that they paid so much for, and it's going to be tough to unload. So they're kind of staying at the 25% plus or minus capacity, and just cranking out like the minimum amount and not building any inventory. So, with rig count going up generally, I think it's gonna, if prices don't come down, it's gonna get pretty hairy in terms of being able to acquire pipe, especially for like projects that come up quickly or like obligation type wells that you have to drill.
Yeah.
For small companies, especially that don't have a big casing program, I think a lot of people are going to get in a bind if they don't.
Dude, I was talking to one of my buddies at a pipe company yesterday, and he was saying it's kind of, it sucks because the pipe orders that are going out are mainly for like the big customers with multiple rigs and all that stuff. So those ones that are picking up one rig here, one rig there, it's like the pipe's not allocated to them. So it's just kind of like, it sucks. It's a tough time right now.
Well, the only way around it is like if you know far enough in advance, like that you're going to drill some wells, and you can order pipe 6 months in advance, and you know what you need, and you know what you're going to use, you should be fine because you can put orders in. And at this point, mills should still be able to deliver in that time frame, like that 4 to 6, 7 months. So, like, if you have enough time to plan,
is that realistic right now for smaller companies to know what they're going to be doing 4 to 6 months out?
Yeah. If you want pipe and you don't want to, like, the issue is, I mean, I think the 6 month mark is probably a good estimate. Like, if you're trying to put something together, I would definitely start looking at ordering pipe 6 months in advance. But if you're like me, and a lot of times you have contingencies,
right,
for your primary casing design, like if a contingency is to run 7-inch and a 4.5 liner, at this point, if you really want that contingency, you need to order that pipe also.
God.
as opposed to how it was in the past. If you had a distributor and you needed to go that contingency route, you just call up your distributor and you're like, hey, I need some 7-inch, I need a 4.5 liner, and they typically had it. Now, like, you can't really count on that. So if you want a contingency as part of your program, you need to order it. And
Dude,
then
that's got to be such a challenge right now with capital being kind of squeezed out of the market right now. Obviously, with a main the narrative being wrote for us, so like people aren't raising capital in the market. There's the shortage of pipe and all that stuff. So now you got to actually operate within cash flows and do all that fun stuff. So now you actually got to spend more for if you have a contingency plan, right?
Yeah,
a lot of capital, and so it's this kind of this weird balancing act. Where do you kind of see this like it's leveling out?
I mean, I think eventually, I think part of it is the raw material suppliers are kind of in a money grab scenario because, I think they could produce more,
Yeah,
and eventually lower the cost. But why would they do that at this point when they're making so much money? Like, especially with the mills not ramping up. Plus, like, oil and gas is a fraction of the steel market.
yeah. I guess with that new $1 trillion infrastructure thing going, that's going to make it more tough.
Yeah, so we're not, like, they don't do us any favors in terms of like allocating a specific amount of material to oil and gas. They're just like, hey, this is the price. If you want it, like, we'll get it to you, but we're not going to do you any favors.
Right.
Or at least that's what I hear from like some of the mills, some of the guys at the mills. So, and it makes sense. I mean, we are not like the only steel end user.
But I like to think of us as the center of the universe, the center of the world. So we should be. They should put us priority. They should bump us up a little bit.
They really should. They really should.
What else are you seeing, man? So besides casing and tubing and all this, what else are you seeing? I guess coming back from the shadows.
Rigs, rig count is slowly going up. I mean, we're at let's see, this morning, like around 550-ish. That's up from 244 a year ago.
Yeah.
Rig count's going up. Rates are slowly going up. I think Q4 we'll have a decent bump on the rig side. Hot rigs are hard to come by. I think they're out there occasionally, but if you don't jump on it really quickly, like if you're not ready to commit, they're going to get scooped up out from under you, and that's happened to me a couple times already in the last couple weeks.
How much does that worry you? I guess doubling rig count from where it's at. You got either people were called back in to go and work, or you got some new hands out there. Like, are you concerned about that? I mean, how are you, I guess, mitigating?
I mean,
that's a great question.
It is a good question. It's kind of daunting deciding, like when I was at Anadarko, we had multiple rig contractors. So I got a lot of reps with a bunch of different ones, but we only had one since I got to Headington. So it's been, it's been 4 years. I had a different rig contractor than I used at Headington. And so now you're talking about pulling a rig out of the yard potentially. And, a lot of things change with contractors, management, whatever. And so now I have to either try to go with the one that I know, the most recent one that I've used.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't have any rigs available, I got to look elsewhere, right? And it's tough to make a decision on which contractor to go with to bring a rig out of the yard, because you have to get comfortable with their process of bringing it out of the yard. You have to get comfortable with like how much money they're telling you that they're going to put into that rig to get it running properly.
Yeah.
And then, you got things like drill pipe and, is this going to be a super spec rig with 4 gens and 3 pumps and 7,500 walking package and all that stuff. It's just tough to make the final decision and just go with your gut
Is
on,
it,
on
so,
the company.
so at the end of the day, is that what you're going with? I mean, I guess after you kind of, do the analysis without doing the analysis paralysis, you just kind of got to base off your gut feeling at the end of the day.
I mean, you do some of that. I mean, you look at some stats, but like, not saying that anybody, I guess, supplies stats in their favor, but I mean, you kind of do. Like, you can make data look whatever way you want. So, I look at the data.
Tell that to Fauci.
Yeah. I look at the data, and then you have to trust that they're going to actually come through and do it right. And so, and in the end, like, if you have good management on the operator side, like if your consultants, your company reps are high caliber, they can kind of make or break that. And then, you go through the steps of like kind of fine tuning the rig crew. Like if one guy sucks, like you get with the contractor, hey, can we swap this guy out? He's not doing us a good job. So, I mean, if you have a rig for long enough, you can usually create your own destiny in terms of like how well or like the performance of that rig is going to do over the time over your term that you have it for. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong with like the top whatever 3 or 4 contractors, because they're big public companies typically, and so anyway, I think it's tougher to go with a small mom and pop contractor. A lot of times it's better for like a company like Headington to do that, but at the same time, like you're kind of rolling the dice on where you're going to be pulling a rig out of the yard, especially.
So it's one of those things. Even if you like doing business with those smaller mom and pop shops, it's right now, I guess the comfort level is you got to deal with bigger boys and girls right now.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, this is my opinion, but the smaller guys are typically better to go to with a hot rig, especially. I mean, anytime hot rig's typically better, but in a downturn, the small mom and pops are going to generally perform better. That's just what I've seen.
Okay. Go on.
Because it's all about the guys, right? It's all about the people on the rig.
Yeah.
So when those guys kind of consolidate the people down in a downturn, you're going to get because they only have so many rigs, you're going to get the cream of the crop in terms of the rig crew. So that's my experience. But
so what's the energy over there right now over at Headington right now? So I mean, y'all been kind of looking at deals for the past year. You've been evaluating stuff and planning. I know that I had that conversation with Aaron Smith on my previous podcast. So what's the vibe right now? What's the buzz feel like?
We're excited. I mean, we spent a year plus, a year and a half almost, vetting deals, and we finally found the right one to take a shot at, and we got that, and we're kind of planning to get that ramped up.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty excited about that. We're also, we continue to look at other deals. We're currently looking at another deal that would be huge for us. So it's good. Like we're kind of relieved that we finally got something.
Yeah.
So we're excited about having something to work towards and plan on.
That's exciting to hear that y'all are actually kind of like not just settled on this, but y'all are still kind of looking out there, kind of looking at the market and seeing what else is out there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, ideally for us, we would have like two focus areas that we can kind of bounce a 1 rig program, bounce the rig back and forth between the 2 areas, so we can kind of always keep 1 rig running. And so that's kind of what we're working towards, getting a complementary deal in a different basin that we can kind of pop the rig back and forth between. So, so we're excited about both of those things, and we're moving offices. So
changes right now in your life, man.
Yeah, we're moving to a temporary office while we build our new office. So we'll have another move.
That's going to be up in McKinney.
Yeah, so the new build office is only going to be like maybe a mile from where we're at now.
Okay.
The temporary office is going to be in Frisco. So
how far away is that from you?
From the current office, it's like 20 minutes, but it's actually like 10 minutes closer to my house. So
when's the new office going to be? When are you going to be moved in the new office?
Probably late summer next year.
Okay. So what's going on with the beard, man? I'm digging it. What sparked that?
I don't know. I mean, so I had it grown out a little bit, and I asked Sarah how she wanted me to cut it for the wedding.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want me to do like what I normally do and just like trim it, have the 5 o'clock shadow going? And she was like, no, keep it longer. Just, whatever, trim it up. So I did that, and then I hadn't trimmed it or cut it since then. And then my brother's got this massive beard.
He's got one of those. He's one of those guys that was like probably talks about craft beer. One of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I dig that.
Yeah. So I'd never grown mine out because it gets too itchy. So
are you gonna go that long?
I don't know. I mean, well, I don't know if it's like a good enough.
Hey, don't do that. Don't sell yourself short, Dan. Okay.
But,
man.
But we'll see. He told me to use this like beard oil stuff. It works great. So like it's not itchy. So I'll keep growing it as long as it doesn't bother me or Sarah or one of my kids. But I'm sure like whenever I shave it off, my daughter, like the 1-year-old's gonna be like,
who is this?
What the hell is this?
Yeah, I know. That's like I remember growing up. There was always like a couple friends' dads who had a mustache. Like as long as you know them, like eventually the '90s came, they shaved. You're like, who, this ain't you. Bring it back. I mean, hey, so I think if you get to the point where you're actually using beard oil, Dan, I think you're committed to it.
Yeah,
I think you are. I mean, that's how the hair started growing. Wife told me she liked long hair. Grow it out, see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like, but not everyone has salon quality hair, man.
Well, you just got to get past that awkward stage. So what else are you looking forward to, Dan, right now? Besides, picking up that rig and, drilling some wells, what else are you looking forward to?
I don't know. A honeymoon. That honeymoon would be nice, but yeah. I don't know where we're gonna go. Where should we go?
Do you want to stay in the States or you go outside? Go international?
I think it's like anything. We're open to anything.
I don't know. Does anyone out there listening right now have suggestions where Dan and his new bride should be going on their honeymoon? You can just leave them in the comments right now. So, okay. So Dan, you got anything else? If not, let's just get to the crowd and start talking to people that are engaging with us. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure. I don't have any.
What?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, David Gibson, great host. Thank you, David. David's helped me out big time when it comes to this new venture, this new endeavor that I've been doing when it comes to equipment, motivation, setup. So always appreciate that, David. Let's see. Hey, this is actually a good point. So Lane Peeler brought up a good point right now. And Dan, you can speak on this. Just remember, operators and contractors have long memories when it comes to who helped them during this time. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think that's true. I think, far too often people always contact, the customers that are picking up work or have rigs and all that stuff. They don't check in on them when, times are slow or there's no activity. So what are your thoughts on this? Is this resonate true with you? Because I feel like it is. What about you?
Yeah, I think it does. And it definitely, like my mindset on that has changed quite a bit, going to a smaller company that doesn't have as much activity going on.
Yeah.
But I think the guys that for my major services, at least, the guys that I've used, off and on for years and years, are typically guys that I trust, and we have that kind of working relationship.
Right.
I'm never one to be like, I bleed red or bleed blue or whatever. So I don't have like a specific loyalty to one company. So I mean, I always try to play the field to see where we're at in terms of the competition and pricing and all that. But for me, like service quality is huge. we can't afford to make big mistakes here and take shots on just randos. Not that we wouldn't, but I'd have to vet that, that much harder to bring on someone, that I've never worked with. But anyway, all that to say that most of the guys that I have those like long relationships with haven't forgot about me, and they always hit me up when they're in Dallas. And generally, if they're on point with pricing and I don't see or haven't heard about any loss in service quality, generally it's those guys' business to lose.
Yeah. That's something that I've always dug about you, man. I mean, I think throughout our entire, friendship and all this stuff, you've always stressed that to you, relationships matter. You work with people that you trust.
Yeah. I can't say that enough. Like, a lot of people are like, well, it's a directional company. They're all the same. There's some truth to that. A lot of directional companies have the same, like tools and, whatever stats on like how fast they're drilling wells and yada, yada, yada. But, like, I'll follow DDs like from company to company because they're the ones who really make a difference in performance. Not saying like companies, the company in general can't, but like because their processes and how they manage means a lot. But to me, if you're in a situation where they're swapping out DDs left and right, eventually the ball is gonna get dropped and you're going to screw something up if everyone isn't on point. And I can't watch everything, absolutely everything that goes on because it's just me and that's it. So I can't babysit every single service and make sure that they're doing everything correct. And so having guys that I can trust in those roles with at least the major services is like paramount to me. I mean, I can't watch everything, so I got to be able to put some trust in management at service companies to help me out.
Yeah, I dig that. Danny Salinas said, I've seen upwards of $1 million to get a rig out of stack and ready to drill it. Is that you seeing stuff? Is that kind of resonating close to home? You seeing stuff like that?
That seems high, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how long it's been stacked and what kind of upgrades need to be done to the rig.
Yeah.
But, I would try to stay away from a rig that's been stacked for more than a year and that needs upgrades. Like if they're trying to put like a fourth gen or a third pump or what, big major upgrades like that.
Yeah.
No question, you're going to see like the $1 million plus type numbers. But I would think if it's only been stacked for 6 months or less, you're looking at $500,000 or less, I'd imagine. And then, I mean, the other part of that is like when you're the operator pulling the rig out of the yard, it depends on your term. Like they're not going to throw $1 million into a rig if they're going to bring it out for 4 wells.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they've got somebody else ready to pick it up when you're done with it.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's a case by case type of deal.
Okay. Let's get an answer. Jess Brazen says, a nice mug. I'm drinking out of a Red M mug. We don't like human trafficking.
I thought she was talking about your face.
No. Well, I don't. Good point. No, Jess is very active in a Red M movement. Organization that David Reed and her kind of lead up to fight human trafficking. Let's see. Renee said that it's my understanding that rig hands are hard to find. I think that's true for any service side of the industry right now. Like, I think finding good, competent, qualified people is tough right now for everyone. You're hearing that all across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always have that. Like during the cycles, you have a lot of hands saying like, this is my last down cycle. Like I'm going to work somewhere else. Like I'm not going to do this again. So I mean, I think you're going to always have that. I think there is something to say about the long, like, I mean, the really gray haired guys, the like fishing hands and stuff like that. But I mean, you're always going to have the ups and downs. But like, I mean, I think a lot of the contractors have really good training programs and things like that for green hands. I mean, I think it all comes down to how they manage that part of their business.
Yeah.
And what's important to them. But you can always take green. I mean, like you can't just put 5 or 6 green hands on a new rig coming out of the yard, right?
Right.
So as long as they have, and I'm pretty sure most of them do pretty good job of mixing, seasoned hands with green hands and things like that. But so I mean, in an upswing like this, now I think one advantage for this kind of rebound is it's been a little bit slower than the last two have.
Yeah, it has been.
And so I'm hoping that's giving contractors enough time to like scale slowly and pick up people at a slower pace and not have to just like
throw people at the
throwing warm bodies everywhere.
And that's kind of that historically you've seen that in our industry. You just kind of like just throw people at the situation. You know what I mean? Versus actually properly getting them trained up.
Yeah.
So we got some ideas for you. So obviously we got a lot of beard oil, bearded men out there. Keith, you never know till you try. Use beard oil, game changer for itchiness.
It's definitely
beard oil, beard wash conditioner for the itch.
I've been using beard oil, and that's like it is a game changer. Like it's not itchy at all.
All right, we got some ideas for your honeymoon. All right, we got Puerto Vallarta. All right. Little Dick's Bay, I think it's named after Luke. Cancun. What? Cancun. Cabo's always a choice. All right. Keith Stelter says Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Playa del Carmen. Danny is doing a flex right now. He went to Fiji. Sorry. That's different times, Danny, but I respect that. Let's see what else. What?
I like Fiji as an option.
I would definitely go there. I'll go with you. All right. Chris Allen says, thanks, Chip. Well done. Dan, thanks for the insight. Let's see. What else we got? Employees are hard to find everywhere. I'll have to get JP Core Tracks mug. Okay. Yeah, this echoes kind of what we just talked about. Lord Bailey, Midkiff said, I also hear it's hard to fill, MWD hands because new ones in the industry and old ones are now directional, So it kind of echoes what we've been saying. And this is from Jeremy. You can speak to this. Do you stray away from rigs with a particular electrical brands? General Electric, ABB, Eaton. You?
No, I actually haven't ever dug into it that seriously, but I know Eaton has a lot of issues, but I'm sure they all do.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. So, Dan, what else you got, man? I appreciate you coming on this morning, dude. Next time I'm in Dallas, we'll definitely I'll ping you and all. So, what else? You got anything going on the rest of the week besides moving?
Just moving, man. Moving and getting ready for next weekend.
Wait a minute. When's your daughter's birthday? What's the day?
Her birthday's September 7th, but we're having Wait, what day is today? Is today Wednesday?
18.
It's this weekend then.
Oh, okay. So Evelyn's whoa. So it's this weekend. So
the party is.
I know the party.
It's her birthday.
So we're having Evelyn's birthday party too this weekend.
Oh no, I'm wrong. It's next weekend. Sorry. The 28th.
Okay. Yeah, Evelyn's birthday party is this weekend. So we'll be doing that.
You're not having a petting zoo in your backyard?
No. I think she had a petting zoo at her other home. So, but this time a little trampoline time. Yeah.
Do you have one in your yard?
No, not a yard. At all.
Oh, right.
No yard, no pool. I rent. I'm 41 years old and I rent. So, you have any else that you want to peel back the layers? You want to get into it at all anymore?
Well, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna use a trampoline? You're gonna go to that place like the.
Yes, Dan. We're going to a trampoline park. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
We should do that too. Are those are all open? We tried to do that like during COVID, and we drove to like 4 different places, and they were all closed.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Who knows, man? As of right now, they're open, but who knows when that's going to change.
I say during COVID, like it's over, but last year during COVID.
It's over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought it.
Oh no, it's still around. It's going to be around.
What's yeah? Did you get your vaccine?
I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask, and I'm not answering.
Oh, okay.
Whether I did or didn't.
Okay.
I'll sidebar.
So you wash your hands a lot?
Am I what?
You wash your hands a lot?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm not saying I did get it. I'm not saying I didn't get it, but I mean, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, just take care of yourself, watch out for your family, yourself, and that's it.
That's right.
So, all right, Dan, man, I appreciate you coming on. Again, everyone, this is Dan Disser. Tune in tomorrow. Hey, did you used to work with Doug Woodcock?
I did.
Yeah, we're doing a breakfast run with him tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Oh, great, man. I'll listen to that one. I haven't talked to him in a couple months. So
you know he's not a county.
Yeah, I know.
He's on the money side.
Yeah.
He's sitting at the big table, the big board, the adult table.
Seriously, it's good for him. I'm really glad. It's a really good move for him.
Oh yeah. So tune in tomorrow, everyone, at 8:30. We'll be doing live with Doug Woodcock, and again, this is Dan Disser, my boy. Yeah, I guess you're a customer. I've sold something to you in the past before, so yeah, okay, that works. But Dan, I guess, man, good luck moving. Good luck with the beard. It's looking fresh. Keep it going. Start wearing plaid. Start talking about craft IPAs, and just go from there, man. You be you.
Cool, man. Good to see you.
All right, man. Good seeing you too. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and talk to everyone tomorrow.
See you, man.